Hi everyone, welcome from Acumen Accounting. Today video is all about, is it a time to open a limited company for buy-to-let properties? This is a very common question which have been asked to us in the past, but recently it's been flagged by one of my really good friend. He's a doctor and he's based in Birmingham, and he's basically said he needs some information how he start to be a landlord. He wanted to buy some properties to just buy to let, and the question is, should he go for a limited company or just buy these property on his name? Please remember, this sector is very tricky and you must get some expert advice because every individual tax circumstances are different. But in this video I will just give you a brief summary. I will explain in 5 steps, and the first one will be, what is the change? Do you need to incorporate a limited company or not? If you need to transfer your existing properties into the limited company or not? What are your long-term plans? And finally, the 5th one is, what are the practicality around limited company? So first of all, what is the change? In April 2017, government have introduced a change, which is basically your mortgage interest is used to be put into your expenses. So what happened is, any interest you pay through your mortgage, you basically claim as an expense, but you can't do it anymore. So that is basically not a benefit. That was the change which was introduced in 2017, which let people think what can do. So if you need to incorporate a company or not. So that change is only applicable to the individuals but not to the limited company. So if you have a limited company, you still use that mortgage interest payment as an expense, which will reduce your profit, and then the rest will be your taxable income. So the second step is this a time for you to open a limited company? The reason I'm keep using a limited company name is basically people would understand what I mean. I can use incorporate or some technical word which will be just above normal people's head. So whole point of these videos is just to give you in like a layman language and explain you what all changes are. So the second step is this a time to form a limited company or not? So you need to consider some key points. In limited company, you will pay, as at today, in 2020, you pay 19% of a corporation tax. So whatever profit you have, you will pay 20% corporation tax. And second thing you need to keep in your head is how it's going to work. If you need to take in a dividend, it's a different legislation around. Currently, you don't. There's allowance available for dividend income, which is £2,000. If above that, it's all taxable. It starts from 7.5, but it's go to higher rate as well. So you need to consider all these things. Again, everybody's tax circumstances are different, and every individual have their own needs. If you're in a full-time employment and with your additional income you're investing on buy-to-let properties, your tax planning is totally different. So that is the reason you don't need to take that lightly when you're making decisions. So I'll come to the third point where I mentioned transferring of your existing properties into a limited company. We have some clients who had a number of properties, and they transfer their properties into a limited company. We have done that exercise with some of our existing clients. Please remember, if you're transferring your existing property into the limited company, the transfer will be done at the market price. So whatever the market price is, that transfer has to go through whatever the legal processes, and you might have to pay a stamp duty. Again, this is very, very technical points. You need to take it under consideration when you're making these decisions. So transfer is not that easy. Like, okay, I have a limited company, just transfer all my company into there. You still have to go through the process. It will transfer on the existing market value. You need to consider the capital gain tax as well. So position of the capital gain tax is a huge calculation. It's a different kind of area which is specialized. You need to consider that as well. Fourthly, you need to look for what's your long-term plan is. Most people don't even think, I'll buy a property. But when you're going to make an investment, you do make sure what is the purpose. Are you just going to keep the property and pass it on to your kids as an inheritance, or you going to sell it? So if you're going to sell the properties, you need to consider what's going to happen, what will be the implication. You might get twice if you have a limited company. Once on selling the property, on the profits on the capital gain tax. Secondly, when you take the retained profit out. So that is the area which needs to be considered. So this is very, very technical. It's not just something you just make in a mind and okay, right, I'm selling it or I'm not selling it. So you need to stick to your long-term plan, sit with your advisor, and then you can go ahead or buy properties or make your decisions. Finally, the practicality around a limited company. So what practicalities are? Running a limited company is not as like, okay, I have a rental income and you submit your tax return every year. Running a limited company is basically, you still have to file your annual accounts, your corporation tax return, and if applicable, you might have to submit your VAT returns. So these are the factors you need to consider. So whole of this video is about people keep asking us about limited company or not a limited company. If you need an advice, what should you do? You need a limited company or not as an individual, speak to us and we can assess your circumstances, what currently you are doing. Are you in the employment, or you are a self-employed, or you already have a businesses, or you are just already in a real estate? We have one of our team member who is very expert in this sector, buy to let, and we can save you some taxes, making some right decisions. Again, our website link will be bottom of this video. If you want to get in touch with us, you can give us a call or you can just send us a message. So one of our team member who's expert in this sector, he will help you make a right decision. Again, thank you for listening us.